Hello everybody, and today I have for you what I hope will be an informative video. I get asked, out of all the things that I get asked in the world every day, I get asked about starting a YouTube channel the most in terms of equipment. How do I start doing commentaries? How do I live stream? How do I edit? How do I get subscribers? From the very beginning, the basics to partnerships and stuff like that. So what I decided to do was to make a 3-part video series on becoming a YouTuber. So in this video, I'm gonna cover basic commentary stuff, equipment, and editing. The next video will be about networking and shoutouts, and then the last video will be about partnerships. So today I'm gonna talk to you guys about the very basics. Now, what I want to tell you before you get into doing YouTube stuff is do not sit there and think, I want to start a YouTube channel because I want to get rich. The amount of people that actually live off of YouTube money and can sustain a life for themselves and can pay their bills and have a house and all that stuff are very, very, very few. And it takes a long time and a lot of work and a lot of effort to get to that point. So if you start your YouTube channel like, oh, I want to start this just so I can get money, you're not going to last the amount of time that you have to put into doing YouTube to make that kind of money. So if that's what you're thinking and that's why you want to start a YouTube channel, don't do it. Just stop right now. Stop right now. It can be a goal, of course, but the actual reason of why you start a YouTube channel should be just because it's something that you enjoy. If you don't enjoy it, it will be obvious in your videos and it's just not going to be fun for you because honestly, you have to put in a lot of work and a lot of time. It's very time consuming, YouTube is. I wouldn't say that as a work, but it's very time consuming. And if you don't like it, you're just going to end up hating yourself, and that's not cool. So before anything, before you do anything, before you get equipment, make sure that you are going into starting a YouTube channel with the thought of, I'm going to do this for fun, I'm going to do this because I enjoy it, and if I can eventually make some money out of it, then great. There's nothing wrong with having it as a goal, but don't have it as your main priority and reason for starting a YouTube channel. So first things first, I want to get this out of the way and just say this right now. If you cannot afford to buy the equipment necessary to start a YouTube channel, don't do it. Wait until you can afford it and then go and do it. Because as much as you may think, oh, well, you know, I really want to get started, so I'm just going to record it with my iPhone, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. Honestly, it's just not worth it, because you could be talking about some amazing commentary topics. You could have the best commentary in the world, but because your quality of video is not up there with what everyone expects it to be, people are just not going to want to watch it. So I wanted to make a YouTube channel probably about a year before I actually made one because I couldn't afford the equipment. I had a lot of bills to pay. There was a lot of stuff going on in my life at the time. So I had to wait. And honestly, it's the best thing that you want to do. You want to create content that you are proud of, and you want to tell people to go check out your channel when you're producing really good quality stuff. So that's the first thing that I would say. If you cannot afford the equipment, just wait until you can. Now, speaking of the equipment that you want to use, I will just tell you what I personally use because I could not really recommend a product that I haven't had experience with. So I use the Hauppauge HD PVR. I have the gaming edition, but honestly, any Hauppauge will work. And most people that you watch on YouTube would have built their channels on that HD PVR. So I would definitely recommend that. I've used it for a year now, and I have not had any problems with it. And I always play my Xbox through my PVR. It's never played through anything else, and I've not had any issues with it whatsoever. So that's the first thing that you want to get. It can go for like 170 bucks. Somewhere 140 to 170. It's around there. It is pricey, but honestly, it lasts you a long time, so I wouldn't really worry about it. Microphone. You don't have to go and shell out a bunch of money on a really awesome microphone, especially not at the beginning, but if you do want to do that, I use the Blue Snowball. People have said bad things about it. People have said good things about it. Me personally, I mean, you can judge for yourself. You guys can hear me right now. I like the quality that the Blue Snowball produces. I will put links to Amazon and stuff for all of these products that I'm mentioning, by the way, just in case you don't know how to spell it and all that good stuff. But it's not 100% necessary to go and buy a microphone when you first start out. If you have Turtle Beaches, I use the X12's Turtle Beaches. The microphone on that headset is actually not that bad. Like, you can use that to start out with and it'll be fine. You just have to make sure that your audio levels are all good and all that jazz. So now you have the equipment, you're thinking, how do I get my voice onto the video? How do I edit it and render it out so it's all together? You will need some kind of editing software. I personally use Sony Vegas. Most of the people that I know use Sony Vegas. It's really easy to use. There's so many tutorials on YouTube for Sony Vegas editing. That's why it's really good. There's actual tutorials specifically made for Call of Duty gameplay. So you can type in Sony Vegas tutorial Call of Duty and it will bring up everything you need to know about editing a Call of Duty video within Sony Vegas. Now, you do not have to pay actual money for Sony Vegas. It's probably very illegal for me to be saying this right now, but there are ways and there are means that you can get Sony Vegas for free via the internet. If you don't know how, message me and I will explain what you have to do, but yeah, you don't have to pay for it. I was not about to shut out that much money for editing software. It's just not going to happen. So I use Sony Vegas, and when it comes to using the Hauppauge, I don't know about the Elgato. I don't know what kind of editing you have to do with that hardware. But with the Hauppauge, you do have to crop the raw video file to fill out the box. So when you go on YouTube, it actually, your video fills the whole entire screen. There's no black bars or anything like that. But again, you can look this up. You can look up tutorials on YouTube for this. Another thing that you will have to do is color correction. Again, you can look this up on YouTube for tutorials. But just keep that in mind. You want to know how to crop your video and put color correction on your video so that it looks the best quality possible. Also, you need to disable resample. How you do that in Sony Vegas is you right click on the video and then go to properties and click disable resample. It's very important. If you don't do that, your quality will not look nearly as good as it should. So if any of that I talked about in terms of editing has confused you, just remember that YouTube and Google has all the answers that you possibly need. If you want to figure out how to do something in Sony Vegas, type it in on YouTube and I guarantee that there's a tutorial for it. So moving on to doing the actual commentary, what I would suggest for anyone that has not done it before, because you're obviously not going to be 100% comfortable if you haven't done it before, I would suggest getting a pen and getting some paper and writing down little points that you want to hit on during the video. Now, I do not use a script. I don't think anyone uses a script because that just sounds really weird and robotic. But if I'm doing a certain subject, I will write down points that I don't want to forget because I do not want to record an entire video and then be like, oh my God, I forgot that, and then have to re-record the whole entire thing. So write down little bullet points that you want to hit on, and that's pretty much all you have to do for commentary. As you get more used to it, it does get easier. So I hope you guys found this useful. Next video will be about networking and shoutouts, and I'll speak to you guys later. Bye.